Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UPNradio.com.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so happy to be here today with you. You have joined us at Distill, a 360-degree view of life and sports. My name is Wendy Rosenthal, and I am here today. It's been a while with my esteemed partner who is helping our guests share. So we encourage you to do the same. She's sharing our Facebook stream.
She's working on it.
She's working on it. I'll introduce her in a second. When you let me know when you're done.
I'm here. Welcome.
Yeah. We are here this afternoon after a couple of weeks off with an amazing show for you today. As always, we are so grateful for the people that we run across. And today we have a very special guest who I'm going to introduce in a moment. But first, I want to remind you that we love your comments. We love your calls. So if you are interested in talking with us, please either send your comments through our Facebook page in the comments section, or you can call us at, and oh my gosh, can you show me the little number, because I don't have it right in front of me. It is 323 284 7826. So normally, I forgot to mention, we are here at the beautiful UBN Network studio in beautiful downtown Hollywood. I'm saying that just to get Ava. Did you do it? Did you make it?
I hit something that said share.
Okay, well, that's good. So now I can introduce Ava Switzer. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Ava and I are the co-owners of a company called the Distillery Inc., a company that works with athletes to help them transition to a life beyond their sports career, whatever level that might be. And that's why we are here with you every couple of weeks, because we love sports. We think we know a little bit about it. We want to show sports from all different perspectives, not just what's happening on the field, and because we like to talk about it.
We do.
So
we like to talk about lots of things, but sports in particular.
Exactly. Speaking of sports, as we do at the beginning of every show, we like to talk a little bit about what's been going on in sports, in the sports world.
Yeah.
And today we are going to engage with our wonderful engineer, the lovely Ryan. Hello. And we're going to bring in our amazing guest. I'm going to give more information about him in a minute. But Darwin Cook, former NBA player with most, I'd say the longest, the New Jersey Nets, now a very successful and esteemed coach at the University of Antelope Valley. Darwin, thank you so much for being here.
Hey. Thanks for all that claps. I won't start unless I get some claps.
Yeah, no, we got to have applause.
Wendy's the same way. She can't get going until we applaud.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
That gets me fired up.
Yeah. So we want to hear from you guys, like in the last couple of weeks, what's been going on in the sporting world that has intrigued you, piqued your interest, or that you just want to vent about? Ryan, go for it.
I want to talk about the NFL, if that's the thing.
Please.
I would love to talk about Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
And how he was on pace for a second to break the record for touchdowns in a season, 10 touchdowns in 2 games.
Yeah.
Thought that was pretty amazing. Also, Baker Mayfield, of course, had the spectacular game.
He had the spectacular game, and now he's starting. They announced, I think, today or yesterday that he's going to be starting.
Does it surprise you, though?
It doesn't. I mean, I don't know what they were holding him back for. I mean, who knows why.
It's like the best, we're finally going to start the best player on our team. So.
Right.
Yeah, why not?
About time.
We can shed a little tear for our heart and love Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Because he went to USC, and as everybody knows, Ava and I are alumna from USC.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't look so good the other night. Not so hot.
Yeah. But no big surprises throwing interceptions. We saw that quite a bit when
he
was at SC.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Darwin, what do you think?
Well, it's just like I don't think it's always the quarterback's fault. Guy could have ran the wrong route.
Right.
But like I say,
It's
some
true.
of the things with the rookies, quarterbacks coming up, it's kind of like it's almost a thing that happens when they have great games the first 2 games of the seasons, and then scouting reports come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the veterans are like, I'm not letting this guy.
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this. So
Exactly.
it'll be interesting to see how they do it in the next 2 weeks.
Sure.
I think that's a great point really quickly, because Aaron and I actually talked about this with Sam Darnold. Everyone was like, oh my God, he had a great first game. It's like, no, we've seen that. We saw that all throughout his college career, like once he played a team, then like you're saying, the scouting reports, they kind of got their number, then it becomes a combination of things. So I agree with you.
Oh, yeah, because I know when I played in the NBA, you had guys come in their first year, first part of the season, they play 41 games. And then that's their whole college career.
That's it.
They used to play like 20 games.
Right.
And when they come, one guy was averaging about 30 first part of the season, and then second part came. He said, "Man, it's a long season. I'm tired."
Yeah.
And he averaged about 7 after that.
Yeah.
But the scouting reports and the pride of the players.
Sure.
You're not gonna do it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks, Ryan, when we're back. We'll have to do another report on the rookies in the NFL.
On the status updates.
Can you please keep track of all of it for us?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Nice.
I love that. I love it.
And a quick kudos to Tiger Woods. I mean, there's something to be said about persistence. You know, the
Yay.
guy is just going to keep going and going and going until.
I want to just quickly say this. I am fascinated by the fact that, look, he's had a lot of strife in his life.
Sure.
That he created most of it.
Yeah.
He's done not so many good things, and yet we all root for him. Like, we all want him to win. I was so excited when he won this weekend.
Oh, I mean, I don't know that I was excited because
You don't like
excited
golf.
about golf, period. But I mean, I always want to see people doing well. So I always want to see someone, work hard and persevere and do well. So I'm definitely that.
I
that
bet you'll get a kick out of this. My little cousins are golfing, and now they're getting to the age where they start golfing. And
Sure.
I just saw a picture of him, red T-shirt on a Sunday. Like,
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's back.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's back.
Tiger's back.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because I guess TV is loving it because that 18th hole with how many people were there just rooting on him, and McIlroy was like, let me get out the way and let him. That's the beauty of the genre of a sport.
Yeah.
McIlroy wasn't in there to win it, but it was like, let me get out of the way and let Tiger have his moment. And that's the part of sports and camaraderie. And even though it's an individual sport,
Sure.
when those guys know that the guys won, because Tiger would have did the same thing.
Yeah.
And to see him break down and crying that, after
How many years?
a fused back, if I'd known
5.
if I'd known you can fuse your back and get back, I'd probably still be playing basketball.
Right.
No, well,
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I'm not trying to age you, but maybe they couldn't do it so much
No,
a few
they,
years
no,
back.
they couldn't. No, they were still
Yeah.
they were still cutting people
Yeah.
with
Sure.
Yeah.
a big old long knife. You had a big blade. So
Right.
So
now
I'm.
it's just a little tube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or a laser or whatever they do now. Darwin, I'm gonna ask you because somebody has sent a note and saying they can't hear you, and I want them to hear
sorry.
you. So if you get your microphone a little bit closer.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Answer yes if you can hear Darwin now.
Yeah.
All right, Darwin, it is such a pleasure to have you here. I've been very excited about this for like 2.5, 3 weeks since we last spoke.
I've been very excited too when my brother Bill Smith told me he was here, and he was at my event just yesterday, and I told him that he said to say hello to you guys,
sweet.
and he can't wait to come back. So
Yeah,
you guys
and
better,
we're gonna have him. No, we
you
will.
better get ready.
We will. Absolutely. Are you kidding? So much to offer. There was so much we wanted to say. So he will be back.
But we would love it if you can give us, not us, because we know, but our listeners and our viewers, a little bit of your bio. And the reason that we wanted you to join us is because your journey through sports is amazing. And it touches so much of what we talk about on how to transition out of sports and what it's like and the challenges that you face. And you've done it successfully. And so we're just, and you went from championship to great things in college and great things in the NBA and now great things beyond. So that's really what we want to talk about. But first, let everybody know a little bit more about you.
Well, again, everybody, my name is Darwin Cook. I grew up in L.A., and I played for the world-famous high school coach, Willie West.
Who we met.
Yes, she did.
Oh, my goodness.
He's my number one mentor. And I got to give a lot of credit to him for me getting started in basketball. Because when I got to high school, I was 5'9", little skinny 5'9", 155, and he would always instill confidence in me to keep going. And as I kept playing, I didn't grow any, but I was quick, and I can get guys the ball. And every day he would tell me, just keep working, keep working. My sophomore year, I was 6 foot. And then my senior year, I was 6'3". And he never put me away from trying to be the best I could.
Sure.
Because there was always people telling me that I can't. You're too little. You're not going to be able to play at Crenshaw, this and that. And in my mind, it's like, when you tell me something I can't do,
Yeah.
I'm going to prove that I can.
Right.
There was particularly one guy he was a pretty good high school player. You know, he was always tall. And he would always say, oh, I'm better than you, this and that. And I said, I used that as a key. So I said, I'm going to get as good as him. And I started watching the guys that played that older than me. I would go to the gym and sit in the gym and just wait till they only had 9 people to play, and then when they need another one,
You'd be like, sure.
I would play.
I'm here.
I would get my shots up in between games, and I'd go sit down and watch. And I've watched all the great guys that played at Crenshaw High School, Robert Smith, Marcus Johnson, and I grabbed their coattails.
I just want to say, I'm looking at some of the people who are joining us, and they're from overseas. So I just want to put a little context into the fact, for those of you who don't know, Crenshaw High School here in Los Angeles is like world-renowned, at least in our area, for having the finest, most successful boys basketball team, high school team anywhere, with many state championships under your belt. Now, you were on the same team as Bill, right? That won
Bill's,
behind?
you one age. Bill's
He's way older.
Older than me.
Old.
It's my big
We love
brother.
you, Bill, but you're old.
But I was going to say something from those from overseas. Did they happen to be from Pesaro, Italy?
No.
There's a lot of them from Italy because when I played over there, they follow on my Facebook. And if it is Pesaro, Italy, I love you guys. And,
well, they could be
well,
tuning in
they
today.
could be.
We'll
The people that I'm seeing,
soon.
the people I'm seeing friends from the UK. So hi everyone over in the UK. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, we get a lot of people from overseas who are watching.
Oh, nice. And also my son just moved to England with my granddaughter, so he's over there for 2 years.
Where's he living?
He's in London.
All right.
You know, somewhere in London.
I was there for 10 years. So
he's living his life, and I'm pretty proud of him. My other son's living in Seattle, and you know, they're living the world now.
You have a very I'm just seeing comments come in. Andrew Stevens is sending you best regards and best of luck and much success with your event.
Hey, Andrew. Andrew just did an article on me on his online article paper, you know, and he did a nice little bio for me where me going to out of college to pros to now coaching, just basically what we're doing here. Yeah. So Andrew, what's up, my man?
So you have the opportunity to play for one of the best coaches in the world at that level, the high school level. Yeah. You hone your skills, and then you're off to university, Portland, if my memory serves you. Me.
I played 1 year varsity at Crenshaw.
Yeah.
And I was All-American, you know, and All-League, and I was able to get a scholarship, not only athletically but academically, which was very important to my household. My mom, my dad instilled on me to do those things. So as hard as I worked on the court, I worked in the classroom.
Sure.
And I was highly recruited, but then in a Christmas tournament, I broke my wrist. Mm-hmm. So I was out for the first 5 games of our league, and only 2 schools recruited me. One was your USC.
And you turned us down?
Let's hear how this played out.
2 was the University of Portland.
Yeah.
Well, I was coming back, and I was playing well. We went to the championship. So USC, the assistant coach, I think it's Hefner. I can't remember his name. I loved him. Mm-hmm. Bob Boyd was coach at the time. Well, he came to do a home visit, and he looked at me, and he said, well, you know, you're kind of small. I don't think you'll be able to play varsity. You'll probably have to redshirt or sit out. And I looked at him. I said, Coach, if I come to your school, I'm starting.
Yeah.
And he didn't believe me, so he recruited some kids out of San Diego and a couple other schools out. I don't know, you know, I can remember names, but I don't want to put their names on blast because I was better than them.
Yeah.
And the University of Portland, they were there visiting my school even when I wasn't playing with a broken wrist.
So they really showed a big
So it
desire to
showed
have
family.
you.
And they said, if you come to our school, we're going to change the whole offense for you.
Wow.
Amazing.
And
Okay,
I played 4 years.
Yeah.
I started every game.
And you were drafted straight out of college into the NBA.
Drafted out college with another. And that was another thing. I was projected to be a late first round, early second round pick. So I'm sitting, and back then it was the draft was on the radio.
Yeah.
And I'm at home just by myself.
Wait, I just have to say this. And nowadays, the draft, because we've had this amazing woman on who is she designs all the suits for the kids coming out, right?
Now it's a
For the
fashion
NBA,
show.
Right.
NBA draft. It's
Yeah.
like a total fashion show.
Yeah.
It's like red carpet.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Back
yeah.
then, it was just like, hello, are you on air?
I
Yes,
don't know
we're
if
taking.
You guys Dodger fans?
Yes.
Ben Scully.
Oh, I love him.
So I'm telling my age now. We used to, when the games were on TV or at the game, you see everybody with an earpiece and a transistor radio.
Yep.
Sure.
That's how we listened to the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great.
That was it.
Yeah.
So you're listening to the radio.
Oh yeah. And I'm sitting. I'm like, wow. First round went. I don't see my name. Hear my name. Goes third round. It goes to the fourth round, and I didn't hear anything. So I called the NBA, headquarters, and I asked them, has Darwin Cook been drafted yet? And they said they looked down the list twice. He hasn't been drafted in the top 5 rounds. Back then we went 12 rounds. And I'm like, ooh, really? So I said, well, I guess, in my mind said, well, I got to go back to school and work on my, if they call me, I'll get a tryout somewhere or whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. As soon as I said I'm not going to worry about it, the phone rang. And it was one of the reporters from Portland, Oregon that said, how does it feel to be the 70th player picked in the draft? Number one in the 4th round. And I'm like, that's great. Because I just heard I wasn't drafted in the top 5, and it's like, and being the 70th player, I was drafted by the Detroit Pistons.
Yep.
It was the year before Isaiah got there. And it kind of is another little knockdown because after I never went to Detroit because we had the rookie camp here in L.A.
Okay.
So they came to L.A., and I'm trying out for the team, and I thought I was better than who they had there. And the coach cut me in 3 days.
Let me ask you about that. Can I stop you there? Because this is, it's so interesting. I don't think a lot of people understand, the behind the scenes of what happens. We've done some shows where we've given statistics about, players that go from university and then are drafted in whatever professional, whatever sport it is, and how of that number of players, half of those are going to get cut almost immediately.
Yes.
Sure.
So, I would love to hear your experience on what that must have been like. Here you thought, okay, I'm drafted, I'm going to the NBA, and then 3 days later, you're like, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, with professional sports, particularly into basketball, those things, guards are a dime a dozen. And you're only as good as the time they put you on the court to perform. And as a rookie, you don't have a lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
And for 3 days, I was a defensive dummy for 3 days, so I never got a chance to show my talents. But I was grateful to Detroit that they let me go early because New Jersey was going to draft me, but, Detroit beat them to it.
Sure.
And New Jersey decided, we needed a point guard. And they've been watching me all my college career. And when I got that opportunity, it was an amazing thing. I went to a rookie camp. What you talking about, the odds?
Yeah.
I went to rookie camp with New Jersey. They said, we're looking for a guard. You can have a great chance of making this team. Just do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went there were 11 guards there, 10 from the East Coast.
Oh.
I was the only one. So I was the only one from the West Coast,
Yeah.
So it's like what I did, I understood. All those guys knew each other. I didn't. I was there to get a job because I learned that from Coach West. You go there and you be ready. I learned it from my college coach, Jacobina, out of Portland, just to be as tough as possible. So we had a 3-day camp. 2 a days practice where it's about 115 and humidity outside, and you're wearing these thick reversible shirts. So people are sweating, catching cramps, cramping up, not dehydrating right. Since all those guys knew each other, after training camp, they all going out and hanging out, drinking. I brought me an ice chest. I had fruit, bananas, a lot of fluids. And when training camp was over, I went to sleep. I wasn't hanging out because I didn't know these guys.
Right.
But I knew the 10 guards that I had to beat.
Right.
Their names were on my little sheet I had every night. First night, I went through 3 of them. I because they were all worrying about shooting. Well, the Nets knew I could shoot. I was playing defense, rebounding, doing all the dirty work.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry, in my opinion about guards is that's what you're supposed to see. I grew up watching Magic, and for me, he was the most unselfish player ever. That he moved the ball.
Right.
It wasn't about how many points he scored.
I can score. When I graduated college, I was an all-time leading scorer at my college. I also led the team with assists, all-time leading assists, all-time leading in steal, all-time leader in minutes. So I was in shape and condition, and I played every game. I never missed a start in 4 years, so I was injury-free. So now we're playing these guys. I'm just going through on the first day, afternoon. I went through 6 of them. Then the next day I went through 2 more. So that was 8 guys. And so we ended the day, and we had 1 more day to go. So I'm in my room. It's about 9 o'clock at night. I get a phone call. It was one of the managers for the team. It said, the coaches want to see you in their room. I'm like, it's 9 o'clock, man. I got practice. Why do they want to see me in the room? I said, usually when they call you that late in the room, that means you got cut.
Yeah, they're getting rid of you.
And you're going home. So I go in the room, just like this. They're sitting in front of me, and 2 coaches, a general manager, and one of the other little assistant managers. I'm sitting in a chair. There's 4 guys over there, and it's like, they said, you know why you're in here? I said, no, I know I'm not going home. And then they said, well, in a way you are. And I was like, what does that mean? They said, well, we've seen enough. We want to sign you to a contract.
Wow.
And I'm like, you could have told me that in the morning.
I'm tired, man. I've been
working. Rest. Exactly.
But then the funny thing about that, they said, you don't have to, you can go home in the morning, you don't have to do anything else. And I told them straight up, I have unfinished business. I'm not leaving early.
Right.
I have 2 guards I haven't played against yet. They looked at me like, who are they? What's their name? Who are they? They want to make that matchup. I said, this guy and this guy. And next morning, they put me up against the first one. I was picking him up full court. He couldn't get the ball up the court, and I was getting guys the ball, and I was diving for loose balls. I was doing everything. That was like, well, what if you keep going if you get hurt? And I told him, if I get hurt doing what I love, I don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Because I know for 4 years, I didn't have a major injury that got me out, and fatigue wasn't going to be the one.
Yeah.
And
so wait, did you have to play the other? Did you play the other guy too?
Oh, the other guy had no chance.
No.
He started cramping. He started cramping up because it was real hot in the gym.
Sure.
And funny thing about it, I caught a cramp in my side. You ever catch a cramp in the side? And you try to breathe and it just like tightens up. Well, no one ever knew that I had a cramp.
Yeah.
I just kept running and tightening my stomach up and just kept moving, and all of a sudden the cramp loosened up.
Yeah.
And these guys were on the ground falling. I'm like, and I'm standing up, so they looked like we might have something here.
Yeah.
And then, then when I got to the regular training camp, there were 7 guards there. I outbeat them all, and the second part of the season, I was a starting guard.
Amazing.
I love that.
I mean, it's
That's
just being
so
determined. That's, my life's just being determined and believing in yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I tell all the kids when I used to coach or train. And if you can't be the best you can't be nobody else.
Right.
And the more you put in and dedicate yourself to doing, you can move mountains. And I was a 4th round pick. 70 players never. You try to get the 70 player to make it on the NBA right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Let alone start in a game.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys who went before me, I actually had better careers than the ones that went first and second, third round in front of me.
Which happens a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It really does. We have a friend whose name is Terrell Owens, and one of the things we were talking about one day was how when you get, as a rookie, you get to training camp.
Right.
And he's like, he's a machine, right?
Oh,
he's amazing.
Still play.
He still is.
Still
and he loves
machine.
basketball as his true passion, right?
That was his first love, yeah.
And he talked about how he got into, the first day out and they're, in practice and, he's watching players older than him running past him.
Right.
Yeah.
Let alone Jerry Rice, who was, kicking his ass, basically. And he said, you just don't even realize as a young kid going into that situation how far back you are because you think you're like the best ever because you've gotten drafted high. And
you don't have the context just yet.
You don't understand. Yeah. So it's really fascinating.
And to have the presence of mind to be able to decide that you're going to do the work.
Yeah.
Not just catch up, but to be better. Because for a lot of people, the flip side would be, I'm not good enough. I can't do this.
Exactly. Staying focused.
Yeah. And let me just add this. I had a 3-year contract my first 3 years in the NBA. Not 1 year that was guaranteed.
Wow.
Right.
Had to make the team every year.
Every year.
And like I say, there's no guarantee. And it wasn't the money they're making now.
Right. It's a different world now, the NBA.
Yeah. But it was something that give you the opportunity. Just I got to prove myself every day, and that's how I put my whole basketball career on. It's proving every day, not being satisfied that I did one thing.
Yeah.
Try to do it the next thing. Try to do it even better the next time.
Right.
So.
I just
comment?
No, I just want to first before we go to the next question, I just wanted to remind everybody if you want to talk with Darwin or you want to ask a question, we're on Facebook or you can call us at 323. Take it away, Ryan.
323-284-7826.
We'd love to hear from you.
I love it.
I had a question, but if you do, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, so now you're in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the NBA at a very special time in the NBA because it was I love basketball, but it was more pure back then, I got to tell you. It was just like it felt more pure. It wasn't all about the money and in a big way.
Right.
And you played against some of the greatest of all time. So
all of them.
All of them.
Except for Wilt and Bill Russell. I'm old, but I'm not
You're not that old. Yeah, exactly. So I just wonder if you can share a couple of stories or your thoughts and who for you exemplified, because we all probably go, they're the greats.
Right.
But who for you in your NBA career really exemplified like that amazing athlete that just had, besides yourself, of course, who had it all?
Well, you know what? Like I said, I played against, Michael Jordan when he was just coming in, so he came in after me, and then, Magic, George Gervin, Isaiah Thomas, guys like that, and it was just an honor to be out there every time. Because you knew, and they knew, if they were playing against me, they better be on their top game.
Sure.
I can go back with Magic. We're playing them at the Forum. And I was one of the first ones to really pick him up full court. Mm-hmm. And because when you pick him up full court, he goes sideways. Slows it up and gets the ball to Worthy and Kareem. And then he might penetrate. But if he's coming fast break, you don't know where that ball's going.
Oh, we have a caller, so why don't we go ahead and take that? Hi, caller.
Hello. I just wanted to send a shout-out to Darwin Cook from the men's AV crew. It's a group of guys out here in Antelope Valley that we all hang together, and we love them.
Oh, that's so great.
Great job, Darwin, from the men's AV crew.
Is this my brother, Jay?
Yes, sir.
This
What's
is
up,
just
Darwin?
Jay. How you doing,
Yeah,
man? Yeah, now all the world knows you now. We can't keep you secret anymore.
Jay, you're out there. You're next. You're coming on next. Jay, do you have any questions, or you got it all? You know him so well.
I just wanted to say thank you for being a friend.
Oh,
love you, brother.
We love it. Thanks so much for calling in.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
We call it AV crew. These guys are my buddies out there that help me mentor my basketball team. Last year when we won our conference tournament for the first time in school history. So we're going back, getting ready to go to the national tournament. all my brothers, my AV crew brothers, went and make sure our guys look good.
Yep.
They went and brought suits and shoes and made sure they understand what we were going to represent. And when we went to the banquet, we were the cleanest looking team there. Everybody else in sweatsuits. We had some ties, jackets, nice shoes and slacks, and I love every one of those guys in the AV crew.
Can you talk to us a bit about what that mentorship looks like for you? Because I have to tell you, with all the work that we do with our clients and across sports, across industries, there is nothing like mentorship, and it is the huge driving force, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's even bigger than me being a basketball coach.
Sure.
Like I said, I tell my kids we accomplished a lot of things. Yeah. And I got Coach of the Year. I said that Coach of the Year is you guys. It's my assistant coaches. It's not mine.
Sure.
The work that you guys put in, and then the people behind the scenes, like with my AV crew brothers and their wives, that we make sure our kids are, feel at home.
Right.
And build them up with a confidence. I had one kid. His name is Ezekiel Armstrong.
Yeah.
We call him Zeke.
Football on the
When
brain.
I first got him, I had a meeting when he said, I lack being confident, Coach.
Right.
He's 5'10", but he's like, dude, I got to get your confidence up.
Mm-hmm.
And he would be at practice. He wouldn't say one or two words. So I said, you got to say 20 words a day or the whole team is running. So I start counting them off.
Sure.
He said, oh, he made it. He made the day. And going through that year, his confidence built where he was one of our deadliest three-point shooters because he was small and we put the other guys in. They don't think about it. He goes to one corner, he knocked down 3 threes in a row. So he's a big – and every time we go to that corner, he's in. So Sunday night at the jazz concert, I introduced all my players, and I had him come on last. And I asked him, when you introduce yourself, I want you to bless the food. And he introduced himself, and I talked to everybody, found out he doesn't say words, but then he was ready to do the prayer. Everybody lined up around like we do for every game.
Sure.
And he blessed the food, and it's like,
yeah,
he's going to be amazing.
Yeah, so whatever he does on the basketball court is amazing, but the fact that he's progressed as a person
coming out of his shell, and that makes me, very proud to do what I do.
And that's a unique gift, I think, for a coach to be able to identify what it is that each individual athlete needs,
right?
Not just on the field or on the court, but in life, period. So, and it's different for each person. So, can you talk to us a bit about how it is that you identify that need in someone and then tackle it?
Yeah, it's kind of I can read people.
Yeah.
Just meeting them for the first time and understanding what they're talking about, what's going on.
Sure.
Because I was Zeke. Mm-hmm. I would not speak to a stranger. But if I had my guys around that I knew, I'm like, we didn't know you talked that much. Yeah. And it was somebody I didn't know. It's kind of funny because my brother I call him my brother. He lives out. He's one of the part of the AV crew as well. But we played college ball together. Mm-hmm. I'm 2 years ahead of him. And I played USF, was ranked top 5 in the nation. We played him at home. I scored 41 points in that game. And after the game, Sports Illustrated was there. I talked to him a little bit. When I got back to campus, everybody wanted to, hey, Darwin, great game, this and that. And I'm like, thank you. I wasn't Kawhi Leonard with that laugh, but I was a quiet guy I would not speak to a stranger.
Sure.
And my brother, my guy at the time, he said, man, these people want to get to know you.
Yeah.
Not just the basketball player. They see the basketball player. They want to know what kind of person you're. I went on. I was like, you know what? You're right. I mean, these people are spending money to come watch you play a game.
Yeah.
And you should be more open to them. If they have questions, hey, how you doing? Hey, you want to come to the game? Hey, I'll see you after the game. You want to do, hey, we're going to be at the pilot house afterwards. Come.
Sure.
And I start loosening up. Mm-hmm. So when I see my guys that's going through that, every one of them probably went through everything that I've done. Yeah. Gone through I've seen someone I play with go through that.
Right.
So I keep that in my memory for helping the young guys adapt to different things. Because some guys are shy, some guys are foul mouth too much,
Sure.
So if we're in public, we got to figure out, hey, you got to get another word.
Yeah.
So we get another word for that.
Can you come help with our kids? No, I'm teasing.
Of course, yes. I'll send them the bill.
Send us the bill. Thank you very much.
No, I'll send them to Bill.
To Bill. Oh, yeah.
Coach Bill.
Listen, my son
He
had
works
Coach
wonders.
Bill.
That's right.
I watched
That's right.
Coach Bill with a kid this summer, very, very with a lot of love.
Oh, yeah.
Put him right in his place.
Real
And it was
quick.
all about his mother, too. My
Yeah.
mother did not raise a kid that did that. I have a question for you from Aaron Alexander. What is the best and constant advice you feel you always give to your players?
The best advice I always give to our players is to, believe in themselves. Do the best they possibly can do. There's going to be ups and downs. And if you can minimize your downs and just keep growing from your mistakes, you'll be successful. I mean, it's not all about having to win a championship all the time. It's about how you compete in that championship.
Sure.
Right.
Because, LeBron James lost to Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His team lost. But the way LeBron played, people remember that. And now they're excited that he's with the Lakers. Mm-hmm. I heard him talking on TV today talking about, oh, yeah, Lakers will probably get to the championship just by one guy with the confidence. So, if you lose, that's a learning experience.
Right.
We went to a national tournament this year for the first time in school history. And we lost the first game, but we lost the game to the team that won the championship.
Yeah.
And we saw what we need to build on, the confidence. We were in the game the whole time.
Sure.
And now we have a goal, so we want to get back. It's not just going to be fun. So you understand that confidence and understanding that, if we get there, we got a chance to win.
Right.
We got a chance to do some great things.
So there's a couple of things I want to just going back to your NBA days.
Mm-hmm.
So you played with the Nets, and then you moved on to two other teams, or
Yes.
three, two.
Well, it's three.
Three.
Because I was traded to Washington Bullets, which is now the Wizards.
Right.
And played 1 year there. And then I was a free agent. And that free agent year, I almost set out the whole year. But then my team in Italy called Scavallini, they needed a guard, and they signed me to come right after January. I was sitting out from summer to winter. Then in January, they signed me to come to their team and turned that whole team around. And then we were playing, and then we also got another player after Greg Ballard. He's a guy that played Washington. He passed away recently, but, God bless his soul. But he was a heck of a player in the NBA, and he was over there playing in the town I was playing in. He got hurt, so it was just me. So then we went out and got Darren Day, played at UCLA, and then, played in the NBA, Washington, and Boston. And when he got there, our team changed because I told him, I said, you know what, we gotta loosen up these guys. Because, you go over there, they got two Americans on the team. And the Italians that we're playing with, they all sit back and want you to do all the work. So if it's a tight game, they wouldn't take the shot. So because if they missed it, they were the GOATs.
Sure. Right.
And I'm like, if I pass you the ball, you better shoot.
Yeah.
If you're not, I will shoot.
But there's a reason I passed you the ball.
So what happened, like after Darren got there after I did, I said, Darren, we got to change the culture of the way these guys play. We came in practice throwing behind-the-back passes, hitting them in the face. I said, you got to keep your eyes on me at all time. And they were watching. I'm throwing passes like, like magic. They was like, they didn't know. And we were playing, and we didn't and I'm passing all these. We playing the game. I'm passing all these passes. Darren's getting all these assists. We're going. In America, the assist is a pass guy make it. That's an assist. Over there, you have to be in the paint. So I'm going. I'm thinking I got a 20 assists tonight. I look at the stat sheet after a game. I had 3. I'm like, wait a minute. How do you get assists over here?
Nobody
then
gave
they
you the
figured
rules.
that. Oh, they figured that out. The leader of that league getting assists helping their team was like 2. In the States, you're getting 10 and 12. So I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. You guys be ready to go.
Right.
They had to be in the paint to get that, to get an assist. So I started figuring it out. I would get one game, I got 9. They were like, how'd you get 9 assists? I figured it out.
Right.
So was the pass needed to be out of the paint or pass into the paint?
No, you got to be in the paint when you passed it, and they got to be catching
That's
at
pretty
the back.
tight.
Assist
That's
is
got
at
a lot
the
of
back.
room.
Wow.
Well, at the time, the European lane went wide. It's not like that. It's getting more Americanized now, but man, it was amazing. But me and Darren figured it out. We were both getting 8 to 7 in a game. They're like, wow, you guys get all these assists. Nobody's done that. And actually, Mike D'Antoni, he was over there playing.
Yeah.
He was the man over there. We'll talk about that a little later.
Oh, my gosh. We have so much. So, but I wanted to ask you before we move on. It's like, as a player, what does that do to you? You're playing, you're 6 years in the league, putting up good numbers, and then all of a sudden you get traded. Like, what does that do to you?
8 years in the league.
Sorry. No. At the time you got traded.
Oh, at the time we got traded. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? It was weird because I played both positions for New Jersey, and I was there, and I was one of the top scorers on the team. Led them in assists and steals, and we had coaching change. It was actually Dave Wool came from the Lakers, so he tried to turn us into the Lakers, and it was like we're not the Lakers. We ran like them, but I never lost to the Lakers in New Jersey.
Wow.
We always beat them. We couldn't beat them at the Forum though, but I had great games at the Forum. But it was kind of weird. It's like, but playing in Washington, it was a wake up when you got traded. But it was always something that I would always challenge myself to be the best I possibly could. Because I'm playing against Magic, I'm playing against George Gervin. Then I got to guard little guys like Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. Because I play point guard and the shooting guard. And it was just a thing. Every night you had to prove yourself. But I can see those guys today, they were like, man, you used to beat us up.
Sure.
You competed against us, but we had to be ready.
And then because we have about 9 minutes, which is driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy, but I want to get to kind of
after the NBA.
After the NBA and what that was like to envision what you were going to do after, and then where you've landed now. And I know just from reading a lot of information about you that the University of Antelope Valley is just thrilled that you're there and very excited about it. So, what was that transition like? Did you know what you wanted to do? Or was it a shock that nobody picked you up? Or how did that work for you?
Well, like I say, when I went to Italy right after that, because Washington didn't want to sign me. And, they had to pay the high salary to get me. And then I went to Italy, and they opened up. The first year I went there, we won the championship. We beat Bob McAdoo and Mike D'Antoni. And that was unheard of. You can't beat Milan. They're the big city. I played in a little town, Pesaro. Yeah. And it was 100,000 strong, but probably every 100,000 tried to come to every game.
It's amazing.
And be able to do that and win that championship that first year against Milan, the big city, and we were the little city on the Adriatic, which is a beautiful place, by the way. And me and Darren just took it in and said, we're not going to lose. And we were able to do that. And then afterwards, we won the championship. We probably had the biggest, it's in the Guinness Book of Records, the longest dinner table in history.
The whole town.
You can look it up. Pesaro, Italy, the longest dinner table. It went through
Ryan.
everywhere.
Ryan.
Unbelievable.
Ryan's on his way.
Yep.
And it was amazing. It was just like, I think the Lakers had won here in the States. Our parade was bigger than theirs. You imagine that. Yeah. So then after that, I came back to the NBA because they didn't know how to re-sign. They wanted me to stay over there for about $35,000 to play.
Yeah, I'm like, not gonna happen.
I can go back to the NBA and get $150, $200, just sit on the bench. So I can't do it. So I came back home. Darren stayed there, and I came back and I played with San Antonio Spurs for Larry Brown, which was one of my coaches in New Jersey, and played well there. But then all of a sudden, one of our players got hurt, so we made a traded me and David Greenwood to the Denver Nuggets. Went there and
fan over here.
The Denver Nuggets, we were there, and it was a great opportunity to be there. And then afterwards, I was a free agent again. Yeah. So I'm like, I got to decide what I'm gonna do, because Denver wanted me to sign me, but they wanted to sign me to, little rookie whatever little contract to decide so they put you in the expansion draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not. If you want me to go to the expansion draft, you're gonna pay me what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't. So now the team from Italy, after a year, came back because when I left Italy, you only can go over there one time. So if you went amateur, you couldn't go back pro.
Okay.
But that rule changed. So Team Scavallini Pesaro, they called back and said, hey, we want you back, because they didn't win it the next year. And I won their only championship in
Yeah, you were
history.
telling me that you're still like a hero back there if you
Oh,
went.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we went back for a 10-year reunion. 'Cause we won 2 championships. I went back and won those championships.
Mm-hmm.
But we went back, me and Darren Day, for the first time that we've been back, had a reunion. It was just like we won the game that day.
The table might not
So
have been so
great.
big, but it was.
It was unbelievable. They would not
So
let me
great.
spend any money on food, wine. Gave me all the cigars I needed. It
From
was,
Cuba, I'm sure, because they could get them there.
Oh yeah, it was amazing, the love that
Yeah.
kids weren't even born. They know the history of what we've
Sure.
done, because we won the only 2 championships that city has ever won,
Amazing.
and it was me and Darren Day. They used to call it the Darwin and Darren show,
Yeah.
because we put a show on. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
So after that, then, I mean, I think it's very fascinating that you made the decision. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
going to play in the NBA this way.
Right.
So then you get the opportunity to go back, which is amazing. So how did you decide you wanted to be a coach?
Willie West,
Yeah, goes back to
the
Willie.
way he built up my confidence to be a player, after I broke my wrist and missed half the season, he worked with me. And the thing I will always remember that he did when I broke my wrist, you know how you're young, all the girls get to sign your cast, and you're
Yeah.
the big man around, So I got my cast signed. It was all filled with. I go to practice. I'm in my street clothes like I am now. I'm sitting in the gym waiting for practice to start, and Coach West says, Cook, what you doing? I said, what you mean, Coach? I said, why you not dressed for practice? I said, I have a cast on. You know what he said? There's nothing wrong with your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Go get dressed.
I love it.
And then you got 5 minutes. I ran in there, and every day I ran the conditioning stuff with them.
Sure.
And when they started scrimmaging, Marcus Johnson, who was a legend at our high school, his father was our assistant. He took me to the side, had me shooting one-hand jump shots, ball handling down the court, doing my right. I couldn't use the left hand for anything, just doing everything, throwing balls against the wall and catching it.
Yeah.
And I did that every day. When they scrimmaged, I was running sprints. He said, you can always get better. There's nothing wrong with your legs. Your arm's going to be itching a little bit. And it was itching,
Yeah.
boy. I almost broke that cast off. And from there, once we got the cast off, I went to the doctor. He was on for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
right? And the doctor, we were undefeated. We didn't lose any game. We lost one game when I broke my wrist.
Sure.
And he said, well, it's really not completely healed right now. He said, does your team really need you? Oh, yeah. My team needs me. We lost the last 5 games. We only lost the 1.
Right.
And they really need me back. I need to get back. He said, well, we usually would keep it on 3 more weeks. I said, oh, no, you're not putting that cast back on me. I had a brace. I went and, just was cautious with it.
Right.
So played it, got back to practice, got the cast off. The first game I didn't start, and the way I broke it the first time, I went to the basket, and the guy low bridged me. I fell down on my wrist.
Yeah.
So I get in the game. Coach West says, all right, get in there. Don't do nothing crazy, just play. And I get out there and I play. So I get out. I'm driving to the basket. I go to the basket. Guy knocks me down. I fall down, but I didn't put my hand down. I rolled down. When I got up, there was somebody at the scores table before I even hit it. And Coach West snatched me out of the game. He said, what are you doing? You just got your cast off. Going out there playing all crazy. I said, Coach, I only know how to play one way.
Yeah.
If I break my wrist playing the way I know, I break it again.
Well,
So he set me down.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, man, I need to get back in here. And he just said, Cook, get back in. Now run the team and don't do nothing crazy. And I got back in the flow, and that's just the coach. I only know how to play one way. I mean, if it's going to break it, it's going to break it.
Crazy. Play crazy.
so we keep getting the signs over here from Ryan, which is just destroying me because I just want you to give a quick plug for
Where you're at now.
for the university, and for what you're doing. Can
Yeah.
you give him an extra 30 seconds, Ryan? Okay.
We went 2 hours already.
Can you believe how fast it goes?
No,
It's
we
like,
didn't. Oh, let's do it now. Okay. I'm the head coach at University of Antelope Valley. It's a growing school. I want to shout out to our president, Marco and Sandra Johnson, which is their dream to build this school. We're NAIA Division II. A lot of people don't know, not NCAA, but the NAIA. And we ended up probably in the top 25 last year, and we probably should be ranked higher coming up. But our school is their vision. They started out with a small campus, and now we have a even little bigger campus, but it's filled with academic. You can graduate our school in being a paramedic to a chef to business to therapy. We have every curriculum there is there, and it's our president's dream.
It's a brand new program, 3 years.
Well, our basketball program's 3 years.
Yep.
The school is actually it's old.
Yeah,
it started as a commuter school. Now we have a school here. It started as a paramedic school.
Yeah.
And now we have every curriculum they are. The president and his wife are doing a great job trying to build it. And I'm excited to be there.
Sports are very, very expensive, we know, and you were just in the middle of a huge fundraising event. So if folks want to contribute to the men's basketball team and support you all, where can they send?
They can send it to UAV. What's that? UAV.com. Okay. .org. I'm sorry. No, edu. Sorry.
Okay.
UAV.edu
for all the information.
All this.
Coach
We'll
Cook,
post
his
it.
men's basketball
And then you can go to
team.
men's basketball. You can go to UAVpioneers.edu
Okay.
/ basketball. It goes right to our website. It got too many websites. I've been doing a golf tournament the last 3 days, so I've been doing UAV Pioneers / golf. Now it's UAV Pioneers / basketball. It'll get to us.
So all this means is that Darwin has to come back.
oh my gosh.
We have a lot more to cover.
Like, seriously, please.
And we
Please.
have an extra show this week, so Thursday, 1 p.m. Different day, different time, just this week.
Yep.
Have our viewers back and joining us then.
Yeah. And seriously, thank you so much.
That time just flies, doesn't it?
It does.
indeed.
It does. So we need to have you back. Will you promise to come? Because I literally have 4,000 questions that we
Right.
didn't even get to.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah. It's like I say, basketball season. Actually, we have to do real quick. We open up our season as Cal State Northridge.
Oh.
At Northridge.
Come see you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, October 26th.
Oh, that's close.
So
We could be
after
there.
basketball season.
Oh, after basketball
We're gonna hit you
season.
up.
Yeah, after the Nationals.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we're going back.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
I like that confidence. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you
Yeah.
to all of our listeners, of course. And
Yes.
again, reminder, we'll be here on Thursday, 1 p.m.
Right. And also, don't forget, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, CastBox, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, our Facebook pages, our website, thedistilleryinc.com. And thank you again. We'll see you all Thursday.
And thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of hell. A mix of today's hits and hard to find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network.